medium size category, 70 to 200 liter, 35 entries. This category was sponsored by AH Supply. Visit their booth, get a free shipping for $50 worth of stuff. Honorable mention in here as well. Entry number 94, 192 liter, 51 gallon aquatic garden, Harmony in the Wind, Michael G.W. Wong, Hong Kong.
People may recognize this name from the presentation that I did this afternoon. He's just a fabulous aquascaper. I have not seen a tank of his that I didn't like. And this continues that tradition. It's a little different than some of the stuff that I've seen of his in the past, but it's a beautiful tank.
This one was actually my favorite of all of them in the competition. The composition is perfect for that amount of rock work. The way he covers his rocks, and one thing that he does in this tank is he utilizes the entire space, even the negative space at the top of the tank in the surface. He utilizes it so well, and it makes it somehow look uncrowded, even though there's really a lot going on there. Again, this was my favorite.
Technical note on these entries that received honorable mentions pretty much do so in recent years because at least one judge felt that it deserved a first place, but it did not otherwise place in the contest. Third place, entry number 124, 150 liter, 40 gallon aquatic garden, Secret Shore, Enrico Serena from Italy.
It's obviously a very attractive tank. I don't think it's very innovative. I think that the center path could be a little bit of a problem, but I like the fact that with the big rock kind of hanging over it, it gives it a sense of tension that it wouldn't have otherwise. And the way that he's lit it is just very, very creative. It just looks like the sunshine is just bursting down in there. So I think it's a really pretty tank, even if it's not particularly innovative.
Yeah, I actually like the hardscape material choice and the positioning of all the rocks. I think that looked pretty good. I didn't necessarily agree with the path. I didn't think that tank. I think the tank would have actually looked better without the path. But again, the whole combination of everything that he's done, including the whole I don't know what to call it, the sunbeam magic beaming in thing going on there. It's innovative, and so that deserves some credit there.
Okay, second place, entry number 147, 180 liter, 48 gallon aquatic garden, Forest, Yaolong Su from Taiwan.
This one's interesting because the rule of thirds plays in here in mass. If he obviously has two strong columns, but if you look, his column on the right is reasonably 3 times more mass than the left side. He did some really nice things with his foreground using pebbles and things like that. He used them artfully. Obviously the foreground is bare, but he still used his pebbles artfully to create some texture there. This is a nice job.
Yeah, and it's in the details really that you see some of the pros come out. So I mean, if you take the right side of the tank, the right corner where there's just rocks and a rock cliff, he actually planned that out, right? So I mean, that looks. I hope he did because it looks really good. The same thing goes for the left side, that little corner that's just planted grassy knoll and then fades out into the gravel pathway. And those little details are what kind of help pull some of these things together. Obviously, the pruning job he's done towards the back to keep the focus on his hardscape, he's managed to do a pretty good job doing that as well.
For those of us who were early up this morning, we learned something about photographing a tank also. And I would say if this has not been photographed to a wide angle close up to the front screen, it would have a total other look. So also, of course, we should judge the tank, but also the way it's photographed on have a great influence on it. It's much more dramatic in the way it's photographed here.
Okay, category winner, entry number 135, 182 liter, 48 gallon aquatic garden, Beyond Horizon, Siak Wee Yo, Malaysia.
Yes, it was absolutely also my favorite in this category. And again, it is very impressive how people in their tank now can make a depth through having the bigger plants in the front and have smaller plants in the background, and also use of this small mountain there makes it really look as it's much deeper than it is in the real things.
Yeah, I think we all judged this tank highly. It's a beautiful tank, and it, again, as Klaus said, it just gives a tremendous sense of depth, looking down that slot canyon toward the mountains in the background there.
And it's pretty unique as well. I try to judge this competition in a way that if I had seen it before, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it, even if it was masterfully done. And this one caught my eye pretty quickly as something I hadn't seen before, so I spent a little more time looking at it. And to echo what had been said, the depth is incredible. The uses of his photography as well as plant selection and rock selection, really a good job.
Yeah, not only the depth. I mean, the depth is obviously good, and I don't know if you did this purposely again or not, but if you take a look at that back, and it almost looks like there's a gray gloom in the back and then a bright sky, and that kind of effect is interesting.